In another life, across the sea or somewhere just as far away, I was Junior Field Medic Kiri Amaranth. Now it's usually just Kiri. It's been 14 years, 3 months, and 28 days since I've been home. I'm almost 200 years old, and sometimes I still catch myself counting the hours. I miss home. But more than home, I miss her, the Queen. The last time I saw her was when she was captured in the final days of the war, right before my exile. I just can't help but feel restless in this place. I guess that's why I took up wandering. But it hasn't been all bad. There are wonderful people in this part of the world. There's beauty, both natural and magical, just waiting to be found. And this is where I met Dev. They're not quite like anyone I've encountered before, but they remind me of home. It's been nice to have someone to travel with again. But I still call out to her every night. She never answers. I don't know if she's still out there, still alive, but I have to have faith. For myself, for my people, and for my queen.
Hi there. I'm Devereaux Thistlebrook. My family owns Featherdown Traders. It's a small farm and general merchant operation headquartered in the small hamlet of Featherton. It's just on the other side of the hills outside of Faybreach. The farm produces wonderful cheeses, and they grow, dry, and distribute many different blends of tea. My younger sister Desiree is taking over the family business for my mother. But me? I guess I'm a bit of an oddity in halfling culture. You see, most halflings are perfectly content to stay home and keep a predictable, dull routine. Ugh. Me, though? I don't care for business or homesteading or any of that predictable stuff. It's boring, mundane, sedentary. So I've decided to spend my life as an explorer, just like my dad before me. There's always so much out there to see. Plants, animals, and all manner of fantastic creatures. I just gotta get out and see it for myself. So, I use some of my skills to act as a cartographer and guide for hire for other adventurers and travelers. I also keep a journal of all my own experiences, and I catalog the strange and wonderful things that I've seen in my trips. Someday, I hope that I'll write a book of my own. And when it gets published, I can be famous. Well, I can be more famous than any other halfling I've ever heard of in the realms. You know?
Why, hello there. I'm Salix of the Evertrees. I was raised by my parents in the massive forest just south of Valzara with my brother Kendall. We are only about a year apart in age, and we've always been really close, but we're pretty different. I'm a druid of the land, tasked with the care of a very old willow tree. The magic was strong in my blood when I was younger, so I was marked with ink I made from her bark. Kendall, not so much. A while back, I also heard of the god Cord, and it struck something in me. Since then, I've been training with the monks at the monastery outside Valzara to answer the call of the Stormlord. I don't know what he has in store for me, but I know it's something important. I recently also had to get Kendall out of some trouble he got himself into after he decided to leave our people. Now we're on the road for adventure. I don't want to live without him. We belong together like tea and honey. I don't know how far I can go from my tree, though. No one in our community has ever left their grove for very long, or...
And we're live! Hi! That was
Poor
an
Kendall.
accident. I think I cut off Kendall's.
It's alright.
Y'all, I'm killing it today. Wow!
I think we get Kendall's whole thing.
Do you wanna recap Kendall's for us?
Yeah.
It was way better
I'm
than
Kendall.
Salix's.
Hey, I'm Kendall. What's your name? Wade. Everybody's a druid except for Kendall, but he's proud of that. And he gets himself into trouble all the time, but that's not very true. That's only what Salix says. And and nothing about last week's session can prove otherwise. So that's Kendall.
Fair. All right.
So last time on Sunday Friends, our two separate parties, Kiri and Devereaux, and Salix and Kendall, met for the first time. Salix and Kiri had found themselves in a dungeon, hands bound, at the mercy of a necromancer named Azarkai the Dark Master, who wanted their help to dig graves. They succeeded in helping him dig a few graves, and sorry, just in time for Devereaux and Kendall to find each other, looking for their respective partners, friends/siblings. There was a brief breakout of fighting as Kendall and Devereaux made their rescue attempt. But a well-timed fog cloud knocked both Salix and Kiri out, and Kendall had to choose between saving Kiri and saving his sister Salix. He picked Salix. Spoiler alert. They all made it out alive, minus their personal belongings. After this first night together, you all gain the benefits of a long rest. Is there anything that anybody would like to accomplish in the night?
Whole heck of a lot of sleeping.
Yeah, rest, please. That's it.
And just watch over Salix to make sure nothing lingers.
Sure. Devereaux is the only one who actually needs to sleep.
Yeah, I would assume that Salix and Kendall probably take turns in their trance to watch over the other.
Definitely. Would anybody like to accomplish anything when they are not resting?
I think Kendall would like to, or I would like to go out and get breakfast ready for everybody.
Certainly. It's easy enough for you to do.
In the morning, I'll stoke the fire in preparation for whatever Kendall brings back.
I hope everybody likes breakfast rabbits.
Breakfast rabbits.
More rabbit?
Oh, I know lots of ways to prepare rabbits now. It's what Kendall usually likes to hunt. They're a little bit easier to get quickly rather than, tracking a buck or something all day.
Found some mushrooms for you too.
Ooh, I love mushrooms. Thank you.
And this grass
pop
smells
one
like
in my
lemon,
mouth.
but I'm not sure what it is exactly. But here you go.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. And I will tie it into my in progress flower crown, my new one.
Well.
Is Devereaux up yet? Or is he still? Are they still asleep?
The real question is, are you cooking something?
Oh, of course. As soon as the rabbit is back, we'll go ahead and skin it and start cooking.
As soon as
All
that
right.
smell comes up, I'm awake. I smell food. I'm up.
Oh, good
All right.
morning.
Well, I'll be right back.
Oh.
Let me go get some.
Hi. What are we cooking? It smells similar to what we had last night.
It is
That's-
very similar.
It's the exact same thing.
Okay. All right. Spectacular. I love it. Let's see here. Do we have something to season it differently, maybe? Are you working on that?
Oh, yes. I found actually quite a
bit of seasonings last night. And then I will pull out some of the random herbs that I found, probably some parsley and thyme and stuff like that, and start seasoning it.
Okay. I can get behind this. Terrific. I'll get some tea started then.
Ooh,
Nothing like a good
yes.
one to get you going in the morning.
I like you, Dev.
I whisper to Salix and I say, that's the pickiest halfling I've ever met.
Excuse you?
Oh, hey.
That was a whisper. And with your passive perception of 9, you would not have heard that.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
You did remind us of that just a moment ago.
I did.
I whisper back, well, everybody has their quirks.
Go out and try to find something else?
It might be good to, have a little bit more food foraged. I'm not quite sure when we're gonna stop or where we're going. Excuse me, does anybody know exactly where we're supposed to be going today?
I just stare at Dev.
I don't know if we're necessarily supposed to be anywhere.
That's
Last
different.
I recall, we said we wanted to go. I look around, back and forth in the trees. That way. Or was it that way? We were going to go some way.
I walk up and stand behind Dev and I stare at both.
Which way?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, if we go that way, we're going back towards the graveyard. And if we go that way, I don't know what we're going towards.
I choose the second.
I think, bare minimum, we should probably head for a town of some variety. I'm feeling rather under-equipped right now.
Me too.
Oh.
Fuzzy, did you grab our stuff?
Petals? No, I did not. There was kind of a bad person, and I didn't know where it was.
Carrie, I thought you were looking a little sparse with your belongings here this morning. Are you gonna miss anything?
Well, I can't really get any of it back. It's not from around here, but I don't really want to put anybody in danger for it.
Well, Deb and I are pretty sneaky. We can always just go and see what we can see.
And necromancers only work at night, don't they? I feel like I heard that somewhere.
That sounds... I don't know a lot about necromancers, but that sounds spot on, Deb.
It is early.
I see. Okay, there's this thing. I think that, we set up camp, right? We set up camp and we had all of our stuff there. So, Kendall, is our stuff still at the camp that we set up? Which way is that? At the very least, we can go grab that.
Oh, I definitely know where that's at. And to answer your question, no, I left it. But we can go get it. I can go get it right now. And I start
Not
walking
alone.
away.
No, not alone.
Oh.
Last time we split up, things happened. Every time we split up, things happen. We can't.
Well,
We
then
have
let's
to
go.
stay together.
Let's do it.
Can you at least wait for after breakfast? I'll take that
Yes.
silence as a yes.
Kind of surprised that Kendall hasn't eaten his food yet and is already saying, let's go. Are you okay? And I touch your face. Are you okay? You feeling
I ate
all
the
right?
figs out of your bag. I'm so sorry.
I was
I
saving
didn't think you would
those.
notice. You always catch on.
What am I gonna do with you?
Wait, you
Hopefully
keep
get more
food in
fix.
your
They
bag?
were really good.
I just shake my head and turn the rabbit.
So I sit down cross-legged and I sit there and wait for everybody to eat, staring at everybody intently.
It's really off-putting the way you stare while we eat.
I close my eyes.
Slowly tearing chunks of rabbit off the skewer. All right. That's moderately better, I guess.
So,
I peek with one eye.
so, Kiri, I saw you obviously heal. Are you a druid too?
Oh, no, not quite.
Oh.
I know some druids, but no.
Well, now you know another one.
No, I do. I'm glad every druid I've met has been a very nice person.
Not all druids are nice.
Well, everyone I've met so far has been.
Well, that's good. Are you a holy person? Or
I think that probably depends on who you ask.
well, I'm asking you.
It's something like that. I don't know if I could go so far as to say it's a religion, but it's something like that.
Who do you serve?
Well, we normally just refer to her as the queen.
Oh.
DM question. Would I know of possibly who they would be talking about?
Why don't you roll either religion or history?
Okay. I guess since we're going religion, this is a religion thing. I'm going to use religion, even though it's the same. Nope, that's an 8.
There's lots of queens. There's the there's lots of queens. Don't specifically know exactly which one he's talking about.
Cool. Well, all hail the queen, I guess. Is that what they say? Did they say that?
Oh, not quite, but
Oh.
it's fine.
Is that an elf saying?
I heard it somewhere.
Hmm.
I heard it somewhere too.
It's called a book Kindle.
I don't read those.
Every once in a while, I know you peek.
Okay. I kind of scooch over next to Dev as they're eating, and I ask them, "So how long have you been drawing maps?"
That's a great question. I've been drawing maps for, let's see, Kiri, when did we meet?
A few months ago.
So at least a few months.
That's a lot of maps for a couple of months. A few.
I do a lot of sketching when we're stopped to eat, or have some tea, or so that I can get a smoke, or when Kiri needs to go out and tend to something while I'm sitting around camp. So I have plenty of time to draw.
That's
Also,
really
I'm
nice.
not really the best judge of time either.
So it might be a bit longer or shorter. Who knows? Maybe I'm just a prodigy.
Probably a bit longer. It's hard to keep track of months when you're almost 200.
Oof. I always forget you're that old. You don't act it.
How old are you?
I'm just, average halfling. I'm 25.
Oh.
Oh, a
Ish.
baby.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's an elven baby. I forget.
Halflings don't live as long as us. It's fine.
I forget.
It's okay. Everyone grows up in their own time.
God, I'm like a pet.
So, which one's your favorite map?
Probably the one I drew around home. And I hold out a map of Featherton. I suppose this is my first one. It filled up pretty quickly. It's just a small piece of parchment, so it's not very big. So it got completed a lot faster than I would have preferred. It also taught me not to draw every puddle that I come across, and to try not to draw every strange tree or abnormal patch of grass. You can get caught up in a lot of the minor details if you go with that. Ooh, but look here. I drew a skeleton last night before we went to bed, and I put it on the map here.
Whoa.
I show a map of where we are.
I'm fascinated by it.
Oh, does the skeleton mark the graveyard or where we are now?
I think it's the graveyard. That's where they were hanging out, bones and all.
Well, we'll have to remember that. We've got a bone to pick with them.
Good one, Salix.
Look, Kendall, I'm learning how to joke.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Well, I do know that Carrie's right. Their belongings are hard to replace, and I think while we're still in the area, we should at least scope it out and see if we can pick up some things when we're done here. But that's just my 2 cents.
I agree with you.
Yeah, this one is really good though. I'm gonna have to remember this.
Do you write your recipes down?
No.
Then I will. Okay. And I pull out another piece, like a little journal, and I start scrawling all the pieces. What did you say was in this? You said there was parsley and all right.
Oh, there's a little bit of thyme and
Okay.
and I used a pinch of this, and I'm not quite sure what it is actually. It doesn't grow where we are, but it doesn't seem to be poisonous. I tried a little last night just to be sure.
May I see it?
Yeah.
Kind of take the pinch and look at it. It doesn't taste much.
Well, yeah, but I figured that it, would maybe the flavor would develop over cooking. Sometimes that happens. It did give the rabbit a little bit of a, I don't know what, but it changed the flavor slightly from the herbs I normally use. So I figured, why not?
I'll just doodle it in the margins. Maybe we can come across it later.
Okay.
Perfect.
Maybe someone in the town that we go to will know what it's called. I wouldn't want to presume to give names to plants that I don't know. At least not unless I develop them.
I suppose that's polite of you.
Well, I mean, technically the plants all have their own names. We just give them names in our languages.
Right. Okay. Just like we name towns or whatever else. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like when you name a town, but the town is already like a living thing, and it has its own like brain and nervous system, and it, you know, has its own needs, and you know, it talks to other towns without you actually. It's fine. And I continue eating my rabbit, looking kind of sheepish.
I'm entirely following this line of logic. I'm like, yes, exactly.
Finally, someone's saying what we're all thinking.
Yes.
Well, at any rate, thank you for breakfast. This was delightful.
Yes. I think I'm gonna use this last rabbit for later. Does anybody have a pouch? I don't have any extra.
I hand her one of mine.
Okay. And I will start stripping the meat and putting it into the pouch for a ration for later.
There's some dirt in there, though.
Oh, a little dirt don't hurt.
It'll cook out.
I'm still studying the picture that Dev drew of the skeleton, just looking at everything.
It's wholly just like a little stick figure on the map.
After your breakfast comes to its conclusion, what would you like to do?
Let's go back and get our stuff. Or attempt to, at least. Can we use this map to navigate? Is it complete enough?
Deborah?
Well, of course I would be confident in my own work.
Sure.
Whether or not that's accurate is wholly up to someone who runs and manages the entire world.
Would you like to make a roll for me?
I would love to.
What kind of roll would you like to make for this?
Well, I'm proficient with cartographer's tools, and
so whatever you roll with proficiency. Would you like to be dex based? Or intelligence?
Intelligence based?
I can say intelligence based. Go ahead and make an intelligence based check with proficiency.
I got a great feeling about tonight. That's a 7.
Yeah, it looks great. Don't you have an advantage?
I was about to ask that.
I have a reroll from last week.
You do, so go ahead and use it.
Okay. But not because you said so.
Okay.
That's a 21.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yes, the map is very accurate, and you can follow it with the precision to get to the graveyard.
Would you like to go to your camp first or ours?
We didn't have anything left at our camp.
Everything
Ours
I
it
have
is.
is.
Yeah, I guess we'll just go to our camp. I hope that all my stuff is still there.
You want to go ahead and navigate to your camp?
Yes, please.
Why don't you roll me a survival check?
Kendall, you're the only one that can do this because you and Salix knew, but Salix has been knocked out since then, and I don't know where I am.
So I just rolled a 1.
You're in forest, aren't you? Your favorite terrain?
Actually, I definitely made a mistake, and my favorite terrain is mountain, because that's where we come from.
I see. Okay. Wow.
Wow. It's a foresty mountain.
Well, I guess that answers the question I had earlier about mechanics.
What
We're going with mountain.
is your what is your modifier in survival checks? Are you muted? You're muted, I think.
+3.
Okay, so it's a total of 4.
Yes.
Okay. How long would... So, for me, failures aren't always a matter of if you can find it or not. Sometimes it's a matter of how long does it take you. The question becomes, how long are you willing to be lost in the forest before you realize that maybe you don't know where you're going?
Kendall would be very confident for a long time. It's all about how long Salix is willing to put up with him being lost.
So I have a question.
Okay.
At a certain point, Salix would probably start recognizing things if at least we're going into the correct direction.
Why don't you make a survival check?
I'm going to use my advantage just because. Oh god. Hey, that was really good. Okay. We might be okay. Oh, that's a +6. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Are you better at survival than Kendall? Oh no.
It seems so.
Oh no!
My wisdom modifier is higher.
That's not surprising.
No one is surprised.
Sorry, Kendall.
Oops.
Kendall and Salix, what does this look like?
At one point, I think. Well,
Alrighty,
go ahead.
Salix,
You
let's
start.
go this way. It's this way. I know it's this way.
Kendall, we passed this. We definitely passed this tree about 3 times already, and I know it because it's got this mushroom on it. This doesn't grow in our part of the forest, and I saw that, but we have to go that way.
But I'm pretty sure it's this way.
Kendall,
Salix.
you know I love you,
Hey.
but we definitely need to go that way.
Well, I mean... No, I'm pretty sure it's this way.
Well,
Didn't they, like, blindfold you or something when they took you?
yes. However, we walked by this tree on our way to the campsite.
How can you be sure they're trees?
Because I know trees! It's my
Oh, yeah.
thing! Fuzzy, come on. Don't you trust
Oh,
me?
Okay, I trust you.
Okay.
But I'm
All right.
pretty sure it's this way.
Okay. Well, you know what? If I'm wrong, you can put acorns on my sleeping bag again.
It's not fun if you know about it. That's not the point.
Okay. But you can wear my flower crown?
Deal.
Okay. And I take my flower crown off and I put it on him and continue walking the way that I know our camp is.
Okay, after
I
about
like this flower crown, but you're gonna be wrong.
after about 20 minutes, you arrive at your camp.
Does it look disheveled or at all?
It looks a
or-
little disheveled, but mostly like I'm so sorry.
like a deer walk through.
So
Yeah,
I'm
like-
guessing you're gonna want this flower crown back. This doesn't mean you were right.
Kiri and Deborah, while this is happening, what are y'all doing?
I mean, Kiri's old, so I don't think that a few hours matters much to them. They're just kind of enjoying Salix and Kendall. And also providing commentary as Kendall removes the flower crown saying, "This doesn't mean you're right." I'm very much like, "But she was right, though."
I look very pointedly at Kendall as I put my flower crown back on and start gathering up our supplies.
Kendall's in the corner, or I'm in the corner picking stuff up, pretending not to hear anybody.
It doesn't take you
Right.
very long, and you're able to collect your items.
Do I have my old flower crown too and my spear and everything? Or no, they have it. Ah, those. Ugh. Okay.
You're frowning. It looks like you are you missing something?
Yeah, my So I usually have some sort of flower crown like this. The one I had before, I was wearing it when I was taken, and I was hoping that it was going to be over here, but it's not. It's got some pretty special plants in it. They're kind of unique. You can't really. It's going to take probably about 10 or 15 years to regrow those.
Okay. So
No,
we'll
it's
just get
not.
them back when we go get Carrie stuff.
I hope they don't die before then.
We'll get it back for you.
Kind of keep them alive with druidcraft.
And it is hanging out with a necromancer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully that'll mean that they live for a bit longer. I don't know. Maybe they're a plant necromancer.
Well,
That's a thing, right?
Romancer.
Yes.
no, that's Salix.
Well, all the more reason we have to hurry. Otherwise, they might be dead.
And that's the way they dragged you. And I point over to the tracks that I followed earlier.
Ooh, if we follow this, we'll get to the part where I accidentally ran into you.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Have you marked that on the map?
No, because I didn't know where it was, but I'll be sure to do it now.
I think you
Do
should
we
use
really
a heart.
want to go back that way? Oh, that was sweet.
Well,
And
it's
yes,
the only way we know how to get there. You both were knocked out when you were brought there, so
Yeah, but do we want to go there now? Because that might not be a great idea.
we can
I'm
always
not
stay in the
following.
tree line.
It can't hurt to look. And
Wow.
it still seems dangerous. We run fast and run far.
and you aren't in the middle of digging this time.
That's true.
No.
And your hands aren't tied. And also here. And I give her one of my short swords.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. And I will take some cloth that I had just as whatever strips of cloth to make myself a bit of a belt for it.
Oh,
not
wait. And
quite
I
as-
jump into one of the trees and I start scurrying around some of the branches and I find a really long one. And I cut it down and I kind of strip off a little bit and I hand her a really crude, thickish branch and I give it to her and I say, it's kind of like a staff.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. And then I take the sword and I start carving the end into a spear tip.
Okay.
I walk up to the tree from which this branch was taken, lay a hand on the side of the trunk, and thank the tree for providing a staff.
I see Kiri do that and I walk over and I hug the tree and I say, yes. And I rub my cheek on the side of it.
Okay, noted.
And once my spear is finished, I also go up and thank the tree.
Y'all are too much.
I also thank
We're
the
a
tree
bunch of
because I
tree
don't want
huggers.
I don't want to feel left out, so I also thank the tree. Why are we thanking it?
Because it knows.
What does it know?
It knows everything that's happened here. They might not have eyes, but they can feel and they need things and they're alive still. Every plant you see around you is alive. They know what's happened here, and if you're powerful enough, you can get them to talk to you. Or if you just know how to understand them. They even talk to each other. Like I said, they have names. We just name them what we know.
Salix, Salix, Salix.
What?
Can I name this one?
If you want to.
Jimmy the tree. Thank you, Jimmy. You're a good boy. And I kind of scratch its bark a little bit.
Kind of nudge him. This one has male and female parts to it. This one propagates itself. So either one works. Let's go with they.
Well, they're a good tree.
Perfect.
Okay, this way. And I confidently start walking the wrong way.
I look at Kiri after all this talk about trees watching, and I have the most terrified grimace on my face. They see everything?
What?
I
It's
mean,
not.
they see everything they're close enough to see. They don't see everything, you know.
And it's not like eyes like we have. It's like they can sense it. They have different senses than we do.
Yeah. They're not very much interested in us either way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I make a point of not stepping on any plants as we keep moving forward.
It's okay. They're not fragile. They'll grow back.
Well, I don't want to hurt them, because I wouldn't like it if anyone stepped on my fingers, now would I?
That's very considerate of you, Dev.
I probably won't keep it up for long. It's an awful lot of work.
You're not expected to.
At this point, I'm hoping Salix lets go of my collar, and I tell her, all right, I'll track myself then. And I'd like to track myself the way that Dev and I went. Yes, last night.
Your first roll to follow Salix, I'll let it stand.
Okay.
You're able to follow the tracks that you so desperately used to follow Salix just a day or so ago. And before long, you find the place where you and Devereaux collided.
This is it. I see it.
Hey, Dev,
I stopped right here.
this is the tree I hid behind. Look.
Wait, you were behind the tree?
Yeah, I stepped behind a tree, remember?
No, I didn't see you.
Oh, that's right. You have a hard time seeing it, mate.
No, I see perfectly fine. I push my glasses up.
And look over there. You remember that?
Remember what?
That's where you asked me what I like to smell.
I did do that.
That reminds me, what's your favorite smell?
That's a great question. There's so many great smells out there. But it's probably wet earth and moss. Reminds
Did
me
you
of
whisper that?
Not really.
Okay.
Reminds me of shirking off my jobs around the farm.
Okay. That's fun.
What? Are we on the right way? Are we going the right way?
Yeah, let's keep going.
You continue to follow the path, and before long, even though it looks quite different in the daytime, you see a massive graveyard. It's now that you see it with full sunlight, it seems very, very old, older than any of the graveyards any of you all have seen.
Are there any skeletons or necromancers or
Why don't you
bad
roll
things?
a perception check?
Sure. Could I also use a divine sense with that? As well?
Yes, you may.
That's 19.
19 in divine sense is 30 feet, correct?
60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
Mhm.
With your perception, you do not see anything moving about this graveyard. It is quite empty, and there you see several graves have been dug up, essentially. Plenty of cracked tombstones, And in the very back is a mausoleum-like structure. I'm so sorry. A mausoleum-like structure in the far back that you and Salix were held in. And you might catch sight of, with the 19, you would catch sight of, just beyond that is a looks like a newer structure. It looks like a pen. And yeah, it's your divine sense does not pick anything up, but you sense that it might be because you're not close enough to the mausoleum.
Sure, got you. I will relay pretty much all of this back to the party. Basically, that I don't see anything, but that doesn't mean nothing's here.
It's true.
Is there a tree line that may be closer to the mausoleum?
Yeah. So you're in the tree line right now, as you can see the graveyard in front of you, and it's in the middle of a clearing. So you could skirt the edge and come to the mausoleum, which is in the far back corner.
I would like to sneak through the tree line to get closer to the mausoleum and see if I can notice anything else.
Okay. Would anybody like to join you?
I would like to follow Kendall.
Let me get
Gary,
some.
do you have a weapon?
No, not currently.
Can you use this? And I just hold out my sword.
Yes, I can. Thank you. Take the sword.
Okay.
Eternally grateful that I was not offered an axe.
It's a short sword, yeah.
Do you want another one? Because I kind of have these as weapons.
Oh, I'm only ever good with one at a time.
Oh, okay.
And I pull out my longbow.
Okay. Let me get stealth checks from everybody who was skirting the line of the trees.
18.
Kiri?
7 minus 1 for 6.
Devereaux,
You
are you
found
going?
my dump stat.
Yes, I'm going, and I rolled a 17.
Are you going, Salix? What'd you roll?
Everybody else is going. I'm not. That
Don't
is
split the party.
a 15.
Okay. Kiri, you feel naked without your armor, without your shield. And it shows as your discomfort, even though woods and treelands are not something that are unfamiliar to you, but you don't feel quite at home. And a few times you catch yourself stepping on a branch when you shouldn't be, or moving strangely, and you have to work to correct yourself to kind of recenter your mind and bring you back to the present. But no one disturbs any of you as you make your way to this mausoleum. It stands 30, 40 feet in the air, made of stone that seems older than anything. It seems to be made out of the same material as the headstones in this graveyard. The windows are small. Some of the panes of glass have been knocked out or have been lost to time. The front door is cracked. The handle rusted. Small things you didn't notice in the night. Now you see in the back there is a pen, and you are able to spot about 7 skeletons that are milling about aimlessly, bumping into a pen and then wandering around, bumping into a pen. Or bumping into the side of the gate of the fence, but they seem contained. You do not see Azurkai.
Skeletons aren't armed, are they?
No.
They have 2 arms.
They could be disarmed skeletons.
They have their arms. Get out.
I'd like to see if I can see Kiri and Salix's equipment from where we are.
You don't see any armor or shields or spears hanging up outside.
Okay, Salix, I'll be right back.
No, you're not going in by yourself.
And I
Cone
start
of
going
whisper. Cone of whisper.
in, and I start walking away by myself.
No, I grab you. No, you are not allowed to go by yourself. We are all going in, or none of us are. This
Okay, so what's the
person,
plan?
I don't know. I don't know. This person was far too powerful for one person to take down. I mean, obviously, they somehow got me without. I was in bad shape when I woke up, Fuzzy. There's no way I'm letting you go in there alone.
Well, I don't see him anywhere. I think it's fine.
No, just because you don't see him doesn't mean he's not there.
Don't hear him.
Okay, he could be hiding, or he could be somewhere inside where you can't see or hear him right now. But as soon as you go inside, he will see you.
Okay.
There
Do
could
we
be
knock
traps
before we go
or
in?
No, but
I can peek through one of the windows.
I don't like this at all. Kiri, you seem to have experience doing at least some of this. What do you think?
I think that maybe taking a look to see what's there to see might not be a bad idea. And if we all go in, I don't think there's very much chance we could do it unnoticed. But I think one of us might be able to get away, at least with scouting ahead. Because there's a chance that that person is not here. And it's not like we're very far away. So I think that maybe scouting ahead might not be a bad idea.
I look very deflated at this.
They did corral all the skeletons. Usually, when you step out, you make sure to put all of your animals back in the pen. So, it stands to reason he's keeping track of his skeletons while he's gone.
All right, if everybody thinks it's a better idea, then just be careful, okay?
I think Devin and I can do it. I think I can do it.
If you don't come back in 3 minutes, I'm going in there after you, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Okay.
And I give you a big ol' hug before you leave.
And I hug you back. Alrighty, wish me luck. And I want to sneak to the closest broken window without peeking just yet.
Okay. Please roll a stealth. Wait. Please roll a stealth check. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say you want to sneak? You do not want to sneak to the window, or you do want to sneak to the window?
Oh no, I definitely do. Yes.
Okay.
That's a 13 plus 4, so 17.
Okay. All right. And roll me perception roll, please. Are you muted?
Oh, it's another 17.
Okay. You feel pretty stealthy moving through some of these older graves, making your way up to the mausoleum very quietly. You peer in. And the room that you currently see through one of these broken windows appears to be a den or a living room situation. So it's you see a fireplace where there's currently no fire, maybe some light embers. You see a plush couch, some rugs, some things that are definitely not as old as this building, as if somebody has come in here and kind of repurposed it. There's nothing on the walls or anything like that, but there are books scattered about, some robes hanging over the backs of chairs. It's organized as just a little bit. There's a lot of things in here. You see a writing desk in the far corner as well, but you do not see any living creatures.
Is the window big enough for Kendall to?
Unfortunately, the window is only about 1.5 feet in any direction, so probably not. Not without you. You could try it.
No. I kind of want. I want to try to make my way to the front door somehow, but still trying to be as stealthy as I possibly can.
Okay. Go ahead and check your messages for me. All right, you're gonna sneak up to the front door. I'll let that stealth roll stay as you make your way around to the front door. It's cracked. Do you wanna go in?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You push open the door very, very slowly. The rest of you can see this through the tree line as Kendall kind of peeks his way around the corner, gets to the front wooden oak door, pushes it open. There's no sound as you step inside.
I immediately just look to see if I can find what may look like Kiri's stuff, and I know what Salix's stuff looks like too.
Yes, definitely. So, the interior of this mausoleum is dimly lit, only by shafts of light coming in through the broken windows. You find yourself in the front entrance to the area that you were just peeking into as well, this den. You also see a long hallway in front of you that would lead, or you imagine might lead somewhere else in this long rectangular building. Make a perception check for me again.
I have a dumb question. What does a proficiency in perception skill mean? Do I add anything, or is it just?
No, you should. So if you look at your character sheet.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you just add that number to your roll.
Another 17.
Okay, there we go. So, you take a quick look around, and you notice to your right, you hadn't noticed it when you first looked, but as a matter of fact, there is a large chest by the front door. And this chest is maybe 4.5 feet wide, maybe 2 feet tall. You could fit several Devereaux in here. And it appears to not be closed all the way. It appears to be resting on, like, as if the lid is resting on something. And you see a piece of petals of one of your sister's flower crowns on the floor.
I look around to see if anything and see if I can hear anything, and I try to open it as slowly as I can without making it creak.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
That's a 6.
Okay. You start to open here, and you stop. Heart racing. And open a little more. And then you do the thing where you just push it all the way up to see to get it all out. As you look down, you see a set of. Kiri, would you describe Kiri's armor, or Alex, would you describe Kiri's armor for us?
I can. It's the armor itself is copper with just a little bit of that sort of blue-green oxidation going on. There'd be a pastel green coat, a shield with a bunch of silver writing on it, and a big old warhammer, I guess, if that's part of the armor. And everything smells heavily of incense.
You also see the familiar sight of your sister's spear and her flower crown, and as well as all of her spellcasting components, her pouches, her satchels, everything.
I look around for like a big bag that I can put everything in.
You don't see any bags. You see there are plenty of throw rugs. There are some blankets for the cold winter nights, some pillows.
Do the pillows have pillowcases?
They are not like pillowcase pillows. They are like sewn-in pillows.
Okay.
You
then
you could open one up and take the stuffing out.
What I do instead is I quietly try to grab everything as fast as I can and put it into one of the blankets and tie up a blanket and take that with me.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
12. No, 13.
Okay. As you're tying up this blanket, you start to hear murmurings from downstairs. It's two voices.
I jump into the chest and close it. And I try to stay hidden.
These voices do not seem to be getting any closer. You just hear them kind of drifting from down the hall.
Oh, okay. Then I hurry up and I start trying to get out as fast as possible then.
Okay. Do you listen in at all?
Yes, whatever I can.
Okay. What you hear is that familiar sound of the necromancer that you came into contact with. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Please. I'm so sorry, master. And an older, raspier voice comes in. You know, when your mother asked me to take care of you, I never thought you would be such a bother. You telling me you couldn't dig up a measly 5 graves? What good are you to me?
Before I walk out the door, I kind of stop. Like my hand on the door to push it open, but I'm stopped. Just listening in as much as I can before I just bolt out of there.
Azukai, I'm so sorry. It won't happen again, I promise. Please, master, please just forgive me. Let me continue to learn from you, and you and I can serve the Mad Lich King together.
I whisper to myself, the Lich King. So I creak the door open.
Okay.
And I put that bag outside of the door and I peek my head out and I try to lock eyes with anybody in my crew and I just point at it and then I sneak back in down towards the hall a little bit.
Okay, what are the rest of you doing when you see this?
Exactly that. Just, what are you doing?
Look, he found all your stuff. Or a really nice blanket. I'm not really sure which.
Why is he going back in?
Kiri, what are you gonna do? You do see your warhammer sticking out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab that. Trying to remember off the top of my head how long it takes to put on heavy armor.
10 minutes.
Yeah, big no on that one.
And it's loud.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna.
Do you want to go get it from the tree? Because y'all are in the tree line, and he only set it down outside of the door.
Okay, I will bring all the stuff back.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. Unless you're not trying to be sneaky.
No, I'm just trying to be quick.
Okay, all right.
Oh God.
You run up, grab it. The blanket's knot is tied pretty well, but you feel your warhammer kind of makes it uneven. It's kind of awkward to carry, but you manage to get it all back in a pretty quick time.
Yeah, I'll put it down where we're hiding out in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Try to keep it as invisible from the mausoleum as possible.
Sure.
Grab my warhammer and I guess just chill out by the front door. And
are you gonna go back to the front door?
Yeah. Well, Kendall's in there, right?
Okay, yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'll just hang out by the front door, warhammer ready, listening to try and just jump in if I hear some shit.
Okay.
As soon as my flower crown is back in my possession, I take the one that I had just weaved and just shove it into one of the pouches that I have, put my old one back on, grab my spear and like attach everything, and then I go straight to the door.
Are you going in?
Should we go in? Should we go in? Should we go in? I don't know. I can't. Why would he go back in there?
While this is happening, Kendall, what are you doing?
I'm as I'm like walking towards the hallway or where I hear the voices coming from, I'm looking at books to see if anything strikes out at me as very weird. But I am slowly just creeping just to get, not trying to see anything, but I just want to see if I can hear better or hear anything else.
Certainly. What would you define as weird?
Just, I mean, I've seen books that Salix reads all the time, leather bound and just kind of boring or brown or whatever. Anything that just looks like it's got intricate engravings or shiny pebbles on it. Just anything that catches Kendall's eyes as not just a regular book.
You do see that some of the books are inlaid with a dark crimson kind of almost golden shiny out written in a language. What are your languages that you know?
Elvish, Giant, and Halfling.
None of those you don't see. And these are in languages you don't understand. There's a set of 3 that have all identical kind of markings on the outside, coloring, different words. You see another book that looks like it's not made of usual leather. It looks like a very different kind of leather. You can make
Do
a
I
name.
continue? Do I continue to hear anything? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can make a nature check to see if you know what kind of leather it is.
I also have a question.
15.
What's up?
If there, so I have languages that I speak that he doesn't speak, but would he recognize the type of script if he saw it?
Maybe. At the moment, I think his attention's a little split.
That's fine. Just asking.
Totally fair. Yeah, you do continue to hear talking. It does go quiet after the familiar voice to you says, I'm so sorry, you and I can serve the Mad Lich King together if you just keep training me. It goes quiet for a short time. And that deeper voice goes, whenever they tell the tales of Azakai, the Dark Master, they will say that he gave you many chances, young apprentice. I told you to have 10 skeletons by the time I returned as a testament of how quickly you are learning. And I only counted 8. What are you planning to do about this? I'm gonna dig more graves and I'll raise them. I promise. I promise. I swear to you on my mother's life, I will do exactly what you want.
At that, I grab all those 4 books or whatever I can carry under my arms, and I start going back to the front door.
Okay. You're able to get about 6 books, including the one. What did you roll for your nature check?
15.
I'll message you. And you're able to grab 6 books, and as you peek around the door, you see that Salix and Kiri are right there waiting for you.
Hey, let's go. Quick, let's go.
Waiting on you. Let's go. Run over, grab our shit, and
wait. Where's Salix? Is she here?
She's right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm
you
right
said
there.
Okay. My bad. Oops.
Right there.
Oh, hey, Petals.
Come on, let's go. I grab you and I start running like we are getting away from here.
You make it back to where Devereaux is patiently waiting.
If I might.
Go ahead.
When I saw the skeletons, did I see the one that had my other hand axe stuck in it still?
Make a perception check.
Oof. That's a 4.
I'm sorry, but you do not see any hand axes sticking out.
Well, that's good. Then I am patiently waiting in the forest.
As we're making our way back to the forest, I use the commotion to try to stuff that book, that the last book that I grabbed, and stuff it into one of my pouches or my bag or
Yeah,
under my my ranger skirt.
you're able to. So
Oh, good. Everyone's safe.
you all make it back to Devereaux.
Can we please get out of here? I hate this place so much. It feels wrong. This is
Very good idea.
it's an insult to nature.
I'm gonna grab our stuff and just walk some direction into the woods. Literally any direction away from here.
I follow along closely behind.
And I'm nonchalantly walking behind everybody with the books under my arms.
Would you stop? You stopped to get books?
They're for you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I don't know if you can read them, but they're for you.
Oh. Do I recognize any of these languages?
Do you speak Infernal?
I do not, but I speak Primordial. Darn it.
Nope,
Nope.
You don't recognize it. So immediately as you're handing her the three kind of like the set, and you see that they're written in a special kind of script that seems fiendish in nature to you, but there is some common inscription on the bottom.
You know, I really appreciate the gesture, but I can't read these. You almost got the right kind of the script is similar to the ones you brought me before, but I can't read these ones. Maybe I can find someone who can translate them.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. And then I kind of start flipping through a couple to see if I see any pictures.
Okay. As you open up one of those books, you see it's actually handwritten. This is a journal. And it's written in common. There are plenty of pictures, plenty of hand-drawn diagrams of what happens to dead creatures as they decay over time, what parts fall off first, how the eyeballs melt out of the face first before anything else, and the degradation from a zombie to a skeleton, and the differences between the two. If you're only looking for pictures, you'll also find some maps. You find specifically a map of northeast in the White Cliffs just above Wolf Crest. There's a map with a big kind of circled spot of that says the army. But it's like way up there in the northeast.
Did Salix happen to see the common writing when I opened the books?
If she's
Did I
looking at you.
notice it? Did I notice? Did she see it or not?
Salix, are you paying much attention to what he's doing as he's flipping through his books?
I'm probably more tracking where we are in the forest and seeing exactly like trying to look for danger really is Salix's biggest concern at the moment. Items she will worry about later.
Definitely. Make a perception check.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hey. That was a 1.
It looks clear.
Fine, it's great. But you're in
Kendall,
jail.
what are you doing?
Go away.
When I see that she's preoccupied with something else, I kind of just mutter, well, I guess maybe we can try to sell these later, and I put them away.
Okay. Curie, Deborah, what are y'all doing?
Walking.
Walking? Quietly?
quickly.
Okay.
Kiri knows their strengths. I think once I get a sufficiently far enough away point from the mausoleum, I'm probably going to pause and put on my armor and stuff.
Okay.
Just kind of gear back up.
Take a quick short pit stop.
Yeah.
All right. As you do that, we are going to take our halfway break. We will be right back.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so
In another life, across the sea or somewhere just as far away, I was Junior Field Medic Kiri Amaranth. Now it's usually just Kiri. It's been 14 years, 3 months, and 28 days since I've been home. I'm almost 200 years old, and sometimes I still catch myself counting the hours. I miss home. But more than home, I miss her. The Queen. The last time I saw her was when she was captured in the final days of the war, right before my exile. I just can't help but feel restless in this place. I guess that's why I took up wandering. But it hasn't been all bad. There are wonderful people in this part of the world. There's beauty, both natural and magical, just waiting to be found. And this is where I met Dev. They're not quite like anyone I've encountered before, but they remind me of home. It's been nice to have someone to travel with again. But I still call out to her every night. She never answers. I don't know if she's still out there, still alive, but I have to have faith. For myself, for my people, and for my queen.
Hi there. I'm Devereaux Thistlebrook. My family owns Featherdown Traders. It's a small farm and general merchant operation headquartered in the small hamlet of Featherton. It's just on the other side of the hills outside of Faybreach. The farm produces wonderful cheeses, and they grow, dry, and distribute many different blends of tea. My younger sister Desiree is taking over the family business for my mother. But me? I guess I'm a bit of an oddity in halfling culture. You see, most halflings are perfectly content to stay home and keep a predictable, dull routine. Ugh. Me, though? I don't care for business or homesteading or any of that predictable stuff. It's boring, mundane, sedentary. So I've decided to spend my life as an explorer, just like my dad before me. There's always so much out there to see. Plants, animals, and all manner of fantastic creatures. I just gotta get out and see it for myself. So, I use some of my skills to act as a cartographer and guide for hire for other adventurers and travelers. I also keep a journal of all my own experiences, and I catalog the strange and wonderful things that I've seen in my trips. Someday, I hope that I'll write a book of my own. And when it gets published, I can be famous. Well, I can be more famous than any other halfling I've ever heard of in the realms. You know?
Why, hello there. I'm Salix of the Evertrees. I was raised by my parents in the massive forest just south of Valzara with my brother Kendall. We are only about a year apart in age, and we've always been really close, but we're pretty different. I'm a druid of the land, tasked with the care of a very old willow tree. The magic was strong in my blood when I was younger, so I was marked with ink I made from her bark. Kendall, not so much. A while back, I also heard of the god Cord, and it struck something in me. Since then, I've been training with the monks at the monastery outside Valzara to answer the call of the Stormlord. I don't know what he has in store for me, but I know it's something important. I recently also had to get Kendall out of some trouble he got himself into after he decided to leave our people. Now we're on the road for adventure. I don't want to live without him, We belong together like tea and honey. I don't know how far I can go from my tree, though. No one in our community has ever left their grove for very long or gone very far. But I guess we'll find out. Willow will be safe with Mother and Father. I hope.
Hi there, my name's Kendall. Kendall Evertree from the Evertree Grove. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from? Wait, no. That's not what this is about. Let me start from the beginning. I'm Kendall Evertree, and I was born to the Evertree Grove. The Evertree Grove is south of Alzara. Normally an elf born into the grove becomes a druid, and becoming a druid means that you bond to a tree and you forever take care of it to make sure nothing ever happens to that tree. Now, although there's nothing wrong with that just wasn't me, which is a little strange specifically because my mom and dad are the elders of the grove, and their firstborn is kind of expected to go down that same lane. And to be honest, most everybody in the grove is a druid. Okay, everybody in the grove's a druid except for me. I'm actually quite proud of that. There isn't really anybody in the grove's history who didn't bond to a tree. Now, it kind of labeled me as an outcast, but that's okay with me. I don't plan on staying around too long, and I've actually left already, but I got myself into trouble. The trouble always seems to find me somehow. It's definitely not my fault. I don't care what Salix tells you. Oh yeah, and how could I tell you about myself without telling you about Salix? Salix is my younger sister and my best friend. She's basically the grove's prodigy. She's the best druid I've ever seen. And, well, she keeps me out of trouble. We do everything together, and, well, she's my voice of reason, and without her, I don't know what I'd do. But now we're going out into the world, and we're going to explore. We're going to see every corner of this world, and the realm, I know, has a lot to offer. So if you have any place that you know is amazing, just send me a message. I'd love to see it. Well, anyways, I'll see you around.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Oh, some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know and give me your freedom. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you left me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.
And we're back. Hello. Our friends have miraculously recovered their items from Azurkai the Dark Master's mausoleum. We're gonna do a little bit of a time jump. Wave our hands over some travel, as we are wont to do. Let's do about 5 days, and we could take each of you can take a few moments to talk about what your character might be like during those 5 days. Any conversations you want to have during those 5 days. We'll start with Kendall. And you're muted.
The first thing I do is I ask Dev what his preferred wild game is, so we can look for that when he goes out to look for food. When he's out, well, I'm assuming Salix would be in her trance, or either Salix or Kiri's like on watch, and he'll go out and get that food. And then when it's his turn to do his watch, I think he would very much like to read through these journals without anybody seeing him.
Okay.
Do you tell anybody about the journals? All of them?
He knows he's going to tell Salix eventually. He just hasn't decided when just yet.
Okay. What you gather from these journals is they are written by an older human. That much you know. Someone with a lot of years, a lot of wisdom. Or, maybe not even wisdom, a lot of intelligence. You notice the very front page has the words Azurkai, or has the word Azurkai written on the front, almost like a signature. And each page is dated. Oh gosh, hold on, that got intense. This person is clearly a necromancer. They are clearly very into the study of the magic of life, as they put it. Magic of life and death and undeath and resurrection. They write about how necromancy is largely misunderstood. How it's the fact that it is illegal is due to a massive misunderstanding, and that if most people knew the truth about necromancy, that it wouldn't be illegal. He even goes on to write about how Queen Zandaria, Quan Malmasier's wife, the woman who the capital is named after, was actually a necromancer herself. It talks about how clerics use necromancy just as much as wizards do, and that resurrecting someone from the dead is necromantic magic. How you can transfer your life to someone else using necromantic magic, and that it's not just used for creating undead, though it is also used for that as well. This person has spent a lot of time researching what happens when you come back from death, whether that be through revivify or resurrection, or whether you come back as undead. And he spends a lot of time debating with himself about the sanctity of life, as a lot of clerics will put it, especially the clerics of the Raven Queen and Pelor, who are greatly opposed to the undead. And it talks about how he asks himself questions all the time of what are you bringing back whenever you raise an undead? What are you doing? What animates that creature? Is it a part of their soul? Surely not, because zombies and skeletons have no souls. So he theorizes. And it's a lot of this debating and questioning and asking about what is necromancy and what is undeath and what is life and what gives life meaning, and does undeath take away life's meaning? And there are you catch yourself looking at that diagram again, the army. It's actually, you realize, the same place that you pointed out on Devereaux's map that wasn't filled out. Not the same place, but it's around the same place. It's the northeast. It's not like you're heading directly towards it, but in that general area, yes. You're muted.
Yeah, I think as soon as I see that we're kind of heading in that direction, I have a moment of thought, and he realizes he's not equipped to deal with this information on his own. So he goes and wakes up Salix, or gets her out of her trance, and I go, stay quiet and don't get Alex out of their trance, and Dev's still asleep, but come with me this way.
Who's Alex?
Kiri.
Oh, right, okay. Sure.
I say, Salix, we need to talk.
Can you whisper it louder?
Yeah.
Salix,
Cone of whisper.
Cone of whisper. Salix, I need to talk to you real quick.
It couldn't wait?
No, it can't.
Okay. What's the matter?
Okay, so you're gonna be mad, but I've been reading these books.
I'm really not mad at that. I'm really proud of you. I'm really glad that you started embracing reading.
Well, hold on to this feeling.
Okay.
And I open up one of the books, and I tell her, these are the journals of that necromancer. Which isn't the bad part. Do you remember when I looked you in the eyes and I told you I wanted to go there? And then I open up the book exactly to that map and I say, I think this is what's gonna be there for us.
Oh.
Salix, as you look at this map, this is a much detailed map of a very small portion of what Dev is missing. So Dev has a rough strewn kind of north of Fabreach is blank, and that is where Kendall pointed. North of Fabreach, you would know from this map, is Wolfcrest as well. This specific map that he's pointing out is a very small portion, even more north of Wolfcrest. And so it's less of a, which is, you can see how Kendall would think that this is exactly where they're going, because several things are kind of lost in cartography, like scale. But yes, you see that there is from the scale of it, you see maybe just a large circle, and it just says the army.
Oh, are you keeping, is this, well, I'm glad you told me. I don't think that, I don't even know, how we can do anything about any of this. An army?
I mean, we can go see what the army looks like.
Probably very bony, slightly decayy.
And I flip over to some another page and I show her. Yeah, probably like this. Look.
Oh. I don't. That's not a part of life that I really like to think about. And I shut the book. I see. Ken, why did you keep this from me if you found it?
I didn't necessarily think I was keeping it from you. It was just trying to learn about this guy. Why he's doing what he's doing.
Do you mind if I hold on to this? I'd like to read it too, if you don't mind.
I mean, he took you for a reason, and I needed to know why. People don't just take people's siblings for no reason. It could happen again.
I hate to say it, but if he took me for a reason, it's probably not just because I'm your sister. But
we can agree to disagree.
Fuzzy, you slay me.
He took my petals, and I needed to know why. He doesn't just get get away with stuff like that.
I appreciate it. You know I love you, but we can't have secrets.
In that case, I pull out another book, and I say, I haven't opened this one because I'm too afraid.
Is that the book made of questionable leather?
Salix?
Do I recognize what kind of leather it's made of?
Kendall, what do you say?
I believe that I would have wrapped it in like a cloth, because I would not have wanted to touch that with my hands. And I say, I think this is people skin. I didn't read it, I promise you, and I didn't even open it. And I think we should burn it.
So my face just looks horrified disgust. And I very gently reach towards the book and I say,
Oh, I pull it away. No, don't touch it.
Well, so There's a couple different thoughts here. First, we might want to read it just to see what it is. But also, we should probably just destroy it.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we should destroy it.
It doesn't surprise me that it's probably made from people's skin.
Yeah, from what I was reading in his journal, he's not very squeamish about those kinds of things.
I'm just gonna judge by the couple pages you showed me, and the fact that he raises dead. Probably safe to say that he's not very squeamish about people's skin. But really, what are people but other kinds of animals? But if we're going,
make it any less weird, those Salix.
No, it's not any less weird. But if we're going towards this army, even I don't think that's directly in our path. You know, the North is a really big place. But if we're going towards it, we should definitely tell the others and make sure that they're prepared too.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to tell you first.
I get it. I feel very out of my element here.
You and me both, Petals.
We're so far from home, and every day I get further from my tree, and I don't know how to do any of this.
Well,
what are we
neither do I,
supposed to do?
Maybe together, and maybe with our new friends, we can figure it out together.
But are we gonna try to stop this army on our own? Are we gonna go tell someone who has actual power to stop it, or?
Yes.
That was a couple questions.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that
maybe. I mean, Dev will definitely be very interested to see more of a map.
Yeah. It does fill in their map a little bit more. Maybe we'll, when everybody wakes up and I'll make rabbit for breakfast, and we'll.
Oh, Salix, I got quail today.
Oh, okay. I'll just adjust my spices slightly. It's fine. We'll make quail for breakfast. And did you get any eggs?
All of their eggs.
Okay, so.
It's 2. I only got 2.
Yeah, we'll give them to Dev. They'll be appreciative. It'll be a nice little snack while they're waiting for the quail. Quail eggs are really small.
Maybe not for Dev. They could be regular size.
You know what? That's right. Okay. All right. So.
Don't tell them I said that. They're very.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being small.
Of course not. I didn't think so.
We'll butter everyone up over a really good breakfast, and very sorry. The stress is making me lose my voice a little bit.
Okay.
We'll and then butter them up over breakfast and tell them what's going on, where we're going. But we definitely need to tell them. We can't keep this from them, especially if we're going into the teeth of an army. We need to be prepared, all of us.
Well, if we're gonna butter them up, let me see if I can find some honey.
Well, you know the way to a halfling's heart, don't you? Right through their stomach.
Okay. Here you go. And I hand over the quail and the eggs. And I wrap the book back up and I put them with the other books and I put them back in my satchel. And I go, I'll be right back.
And I will start plucking the quail very with a very frustrated expression on my face.
I kind of run back, and I hug her from behind, and I kind of like tell her on one side of her head. I said, "It's gonna be okay, I promise." And then I run off.
And I will start prepping breakfast. Wait for everyone to rouse on their own because I am not waking them up early to tell them bad news.
At this point, it's been, we'll say, this is like day 4 of y'all's travel. So it's been a minute. Kiri, you wake from your trance. And Devereaux, you wake from slumber to the smell of cooking quail.
Seasoned with all of Salix's best spices. We are going completely different because Dev said they like variety. So we're spicing things up today.
Yeah, we are.
That smells. Is that quail?
Yes, I also have some eggs ready for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're right here. And I pass you eggs on a giant leaf.
I take the leaf. The
Scrambled.
presentation's a little rough, but I appreciate it.
I always like sustainable dishes if I can. I don't actually carry any with me because generally I don't need them. We make do.
Okay. I turn around and rifle through my bag and pull out my own plate, and I put the eggs on the plate. Perfect. Now you can use this leaf for your own breakfast.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. You're so
Thank you.
thoughtful.
Look at Kiri. What? Just start shoveling the eggs in my mouth.
Takes all of 2 seconds because they're quail eggs.
They're really small. It's like 2 bites.
It's good. Very, very rich flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the quail ready?
Oh, almost. They're really small, so they cook up pretty quickly. How'd everyone sleep? How was it? Did you have good dreams?
You haven't been asking questions like this the last couple of days, have you? No.
Salix generally observes. She's not entirely the kind to ask a billion questions. So this is definitely not normal.
I think that's when Kendall starts walking in with a beehive in his hand. Half a beehive.
What?
Guys, I found half a beehive.
Oh, where's the other half?
He wipes his mouth a little bit and he says, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But there's honey in this.
Great. I guess I'll...
How many bees are there?
There's about 10 bees buzzing around him.
Dev, we've got honey for tea this morning. Look at that.
Fresh out of the comb. Kendall, you got a little something on your face. Oh, sorry, it was just a bee. Okay. That means I better go get some fresh water. I'll be right back, and I'll go look for water, because we need more.
Make a survival check.
Yay! Nat 20.
What? What would you like as a reward for your natural 20?
I find a perfect dowsing rod.
Perfect what?
Dowsing rod to help me find the water. No, I just fill everyone's water skins and come back with enough for plenty of tea this morning.
Yes.
And it's potable and fresh.
Yes.
Perfect.
I found a wonderful spring just not more than 5 feet that way. It was uncanny.
We got really lucky then.
Yes, we did.
Shut up, fucking nerds.
I set the water to boil. All right, so I slept great. I had a good breakfast so far. I found water really easy, and I haven't been stung by any bees yet. This is a great day.
Yeah, great.
Did Dev say that out loud?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. Kendall, as he's sitting down, he says, "And that tea smells really good."
It does, doesn't it? Yes. This is just a nice black breakfast tea. It'll go great with the honey. I promise.
I love honey.
We noticed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Carrie, how was your trance? Is it good? You feeling refreshed?
Oh, yeah, it was fine.
Good. So you know how we're going to that blank place that nobody knows what's there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my wonderful brother brought a bunch of books from the necromancer's area, the house thing. And guess what? We know what's there. We got a map. It's great news all around.
I pull it out of my satchel and slam it on the floor and open it up and I go, that.
Okay.
And
See?
I kind of just
My
shifted
own.
over to Dev for them to see it.
I open my own and just kind of compare the two. All right.
As I said, there's this much smaller scale, and it's very far north of any kind of civilization. The center of its map, but it does help you fill in a little bit of gap.
Hold on to that. I shut my own map. We'll see how accurate theirs is as we get there. Or is there something else?
It seems a bit dangerous to go there. And so maybe we could find a safer place to try out our cartography.
I like this idea. You know, Kiri, you have great ideas.
Thank you, Salix.
But also, let me ask you a different question, though, Kiri. What's the army?
I don't really know. And I'm not
Yeah,
really
but-
sure I care to.
But don't you want to really find out?
No.
But don't you, like, really want to find out?
No, I don't.
Oh, Kiri, look deep inside and tell me, don't you really want to see the army?
Kendall, I've seen more than enough of armies in my lifetime. I genuinely do not wish to go for the sole purpose of seeing the army.
But it's like Salix says, it could be named one thing and be something completely different. Maybe it's just a rock formation. Or a strange patch of dirt.
I don't think that's this. I don't.
Yes, Dev. Strange
I'm
patch
not-
of dirt. I agree with Dev.
No,
I'm not sure that's quite the same thing.
not at all. Nope.
I sit next to Dev and I put my hand kind of around them in solidarity. Yes.
Well, so here's the thing: is that the whole thing I was saying about trees and plants being named one thing, but really having another name. It's because that's what they name themselves, and other people name them something that they, in their language. This was a handwritten thing, and we found it in a necromancer's book talking about how they, make things dead and then alive again. And so chances are the army that they're talking about is probably, dead, but also alive. I really feel like it's probably not a good idea. Because, if we see them, they could see us. And this is 4 people against an army?
I flip the pages in the book and I say, well, not if they're like 2 months old as dead, because their eyes would have popped out by then. Look.
They have other senses, right? And, when they were attacking us in the graveyard, do you remember that when that happened? They hit us and clawed us and attacked us. They could obviously still sense where we were and that we were there. So they could probably still sense that we're there if we're, looking at an army.
And you know how you were making breakfast? I think I'll pass on that for now.
But it's so delicious.
I'll have this.
Yeah, but the eyes, just,
Well, let me ask you a different
It's a lot.
question, though.
Okay.
At what point do we just turn our heads and just let something like this be?
Well, I'm sure there are some people out there who are equipped to deal with this kind of problem, but I don't think that's us.
Well, maybe we can make sure that there's somebody that's going to take care of this.
Oh, like we bring the book to someone and they can marshal an army to fight this other army.
Yeah, that seems like a much better idea than us going alone.
I mean, yeah.
Like we bring the
I
other
just-
army with us?
I don't necessarily think we need to get very much involved with any other army at all.
I just know that I wouldn't feel right just leaving them be.
Kendall, I understand it. The thought of an undead army, it makes my skin crawl, and it makes my heart race, and it feels wrong for every reason, but
But what's also wrong is letting them take people and people's loved ones and having them turn into zombies and them not even knowing what's happening to that could have happened to you. And what if that's happening to other people?
I put my hands on both sides of your face. Fuzzy, we can't let this stand, but we can't do this alone.
Then let's not.
We need to find help. We can't just go there, the 4 of us, and see what's up. It's not that easy. We can't do it like that. We can't be direct. If we're gonna stop this, we gotta do it a different way.
I look down as you're holding me at my head and I say, okay, well then let's go find somebody.
I think maybe at the very least we should find a town, figure out where we are, and then see if we can find anyone who might be willing to help us. We gotta bring this to someone, but I'm with Kiri. I don't really want to see the army at all.
I start wrapping up the book and putting it away and I say, well then let's do that.
And you're not gonna do anything with the fleshbound book?
If Salix doesn't bring it up, I'm not going to.
You at least want to look at the title?
I was gonna say, as soon as he starts wrapping up the book, I'm gonna say,
There was another book that he found, and I don't know if we should touch it or not, but everyone should know that we have it.
What is it exactly?
Fuzz.
I take a couple moments and I pull it out and I start unwrapping it.
Kiri, what you see before you is a large tome. That's, let's see. Written in common. The cover is a dark brown, but it is a morbid kind of leather. I think out of everybody, you would probably know what this is, what the cover is made of.
Mm.
And the pages seem to be made out of the similar material. They're all roughly strewn together. The cover, it says in common, the Godfall. In a dark brown crimson ink.
And I'm assuming I have no idea what that means.
Why don't you roll a religion check for me?
18.
Sounds bad.
Does sound bad.
Sounds bad. What's your modifier?
A +1.
Okay. You can deduce with your rational Alex brain what it probably has to do with. But you have not heard that word before.
Sure. Okay.
And I say, and when I talk to Salix about it, she thinks that maybe we should see what this says before we give it to somebody or destroy it. So I carefully try to open the front cover.
Okay. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Okay, so +0.
Should have been me.
Oh, well, I did roll an 18.
Okay. Kendall, you open this book, and the pages are uneven and bound messily with some sort of sinew. It's written in common, and it seems to be quite old. The pages are beginning to fade. The very beginning of this book has a preamble in a language you do not understand, but then it continues on in common, and it talks about how gods get their powers. It talks about worship and souls. And then it begins to talk about how to kill a god. And not just one. All of them. Detailed descriptions on the weaknesses of all of the major and minor deities.
Oh no, no. And I slam it shut and I wrap the cloth and I tie it, close, and I say, okay, we have to get rid of this. We can't give it to anybody.
Just like to say, Salix would be trying to read over his shoulder, so I don't know if you
you were
holding
able
the book in order to read it or not.
You would have been able to read over his shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, we might want to destroy that book.
I will say before it closed, you saw a section about cord.
Yeah, we definitely want to destroy that book.
I'm just sitting across the other side of the fire, pulling quail off the bone. I'm like, what's it say?
It's talking about how to... And I look around real quick.
Kill gods.
That doesn't sound possible.
Yeah, apparently it is. But I don't think this book probably shouldn't exist. Does anybody agree? Or disagree?
Anybody needs this book.
Do you mind if I look for something very quickly in there?
Why
When
do
I
you
first
need-
opened the book, did I feel anything whatsoever?
Why?
Kiri, if
Why do you need to know anything in this book?
I'll leave this up to Salix, and I hand her the bound book, covered in.
I hold it very close to my chest.
I want to know if my queen is still out there.
Who is your queen?
She's... I don't know if you could really consider her a god, but I suppose she's very close to it. She's not from around here.
Kiri, if she was around, this book wouldn't tell you. But it sure might tell you how to get rid of her.
She's... The last time I saw her, she was being taken away in chains. So... if there is some way to kill her, I suppose I want to know if people have access to those sorts of resources.
Kiri, who is your god?
Have you ever been drowning? And when you finally break the surface of the water and take that big first breath, she's like that.
Is it
Like air?
Something like that.
I guess I like air. I kind of walk over to Salix and I kind of whisper to her, and I tell her, if he's worried about his queen, maybe it's good for him to know what dangers she may be up against, or what might be good for them to know what danger she would be up against. Can I see if Kiri's being honest about his or their love for their queen?
Yeah, Kiri, what would Kendall see?
I would say that's about as sincere as Kiri could make it. Like, this is very much true. They're not lying about anything.
It's up to you, Petals, but I think maybe you should let them look at the book.
And I pull it away from my chest and I look at it real hard and I look at Kiri. And I look back down to the book. Back at Kiri.
You know, you're right. And I should probably look at it for Cord too. Just to be safe. At the very least, we can recognize signs that people are trying to take them down.
Yeah, maybe.
I will open the book.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. Oh, I'm so afraid of my dice right now. Natural 20!
Hey.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Okay, so that's 22 with my modifier.
Sure.
So I open and I immediately flip to Cord first.
Okay. As you kind of flip past this preamble in this language that you do not understand, you skip past the first few chapters that kind of talk about divinity and where it comes from. and it tends to get more specific. You actually pass by Palor, you notice there's an image of a sun tree, and it's diagrammed out what pieces of the sun tree do what. And there's a list you notice, and one of them's crossed out.
What's crossed out?
One of the names of the towns where they're located.
Okay.
Keep flipping through. You see Corlan. You see Lolth. You get to Court. This section is illustrated with images of storm and sea and strength and battle glory. It lists his few commands, which you know. Be strong, but do not use your strength or wanton destruction. Be brave and scorn cowardice in any form. Prove your might in battle to win glory and renown. And then it lists several of Cord's main priests. It lists the center of his influence being Quan Mal, where people don't know this, but Quan Mal Massiere, who was the man who founded this continent, who kind of settled this, came from Westbourne, the human. Came and conquered. Quan Mal was a huge devout worshipper of Court. And it talks about how where to get to Court's dominion, how to get to where Court actually is, and it debates Court's sphere of influence and ways to show him the futility of his dominion until he is forced to give up his control of it. It's all very, I almost want to say technical, but at the bottom you see there's a note, and it says, this god's weakness cannot be exposed until the Godfall.
Okay, I will do my best to commit everything that I read to memory. I'm not 100% sure how much Salix would actually remember, but we'll find out.
Sure.
And then I will hand the book over to Kiri.
Kira.
Yeah, I'll take the book. Do I need to make a save?
You do.
All right, let's go. Oof, that's a 1.
Okay. Good to know.
All right. I am going to look through very quickly, but hopefully very thoroughly as well. Look for anything on Archfey or my particular Archfey.
Okay. There's an entire section dedicated to Archfey.
Great! Oof.
The very first thing that it lists are all of the Sealy Court. And you are shocked when you come to the end of the Sealy Court and you see the name. You see all the names that you recognize: Tatiana, Oberon. And then you come to Ectiarn. And Ectiarn has a lot written. And in big black letters, you see across the top, deceased. You keep flipping till you get to the Unseelie Court. And there you find your queen. On the top, in big black letters, you see the words, Dominion shackled.
Don't like that.
It lists a lot of things that you already know about your queen. And it talks about how there is this writer clearly has a plan. And it says at the very bottom, the way to destroy Mab is to learn her true name.
All right. Well, I guess I got what I wanted. I'm gonna close the book and pass it off to Salix, I guess.
Do we see who he stopped on in red?
Are you looking?
Oh, Salix was totally looking.
Are you hiding it, Kiri?
Let's find out. No.
Yes.
Okay.
You see.
I won't say anything, but I have noted it.
Okay.
Kendall was definitely just not, like, he wasn't even trying to hide. He was staring.
I will wrap the book back up. And well, so in the fire we go?
I think so.
All right. I will toss it in the fire and see if it catches, especially with it being wrapped in cloth, I assume. That'll hopefully help it burn a little faster.
The instant I see you going to throw it in the fire, I pull my tea kettle off and
Oh,
just get it out of the way. Like, nope.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it like on anything. Probably clear all the quail from the skewers on the sides.
Okay.
And then burn the book.
All right. You toss the book into the fire. The cloth catches very quickly, going up in smoke, and there's a huge, almost like a small explosion of, almost as if you'd thrown a bunch of really dry wood on top of it. And as the smoke clears from the air, there's the book, unburnt, just sitting on top of the fire.
Hey, Salix and Kiri, did you see if it said how to kill this book?
I assume
quite
this
see
book
that.
is not a god. All right.
In the
well, I
index
guess,
or something?
I'll gather it from the fire very carefully using a stick. It's obviously magical.
I hand Salix another cloth.
Yeah. We're gonna have to keep it safe, I guess. We can't tell anybody about this. Not this part.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The sun begins to go down. I'm assuming you all make camp. By now, after the 4th or 5th day, you've come into a rhythm with your new party members. Who sleeps, when, watch, etc.
Wait, this was all day because we were eating breakfast.
Oh. Time is an illusion.
Like, wait, hold on.
Is there anything you would like to do with your day before I wave my hands over it?
That's about it. Oh, Salix would actually try to at least rip the page of cord out. See if she can.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I knew that was coming. Oh, this one might be on the Constitution save. Let's do 15.
Okay. Can you roll 4d12 for me?
Oh my gosh. 2, 3. I got. Should I add them?
Yeah, together.
Okay. Oh god. 11, 26, 17, 18, 19. 23.
Okay, as you feel the page begin to tear under your fingers, and as the page begins to tear, you feel a gash open up in your chest, and blood begins to pour out. And that's how many points of damage you take.
All right, cool. I fall right over because I only have 17 hit points.
I run over to her. Salix!
I will definitely use my lay on hands pool for this one. All
Okay.
10 points. And since I've done such a terrible job last session of describing what my magic looks like,
Please do.
it is thick black smoke, and you would all notice the temperature in the immediate vicinity drops by a noticeable amount, and it goes right into your nostrils.
Salix.
That was a bad idea. Oh,
Alex, are
that
you
was a bad
okay?
idea. I tried to tear the page out. Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that.
now we know.
Salix, the front of you is now covered.
Great. I grab moss off of a nearby tree and start like wiping the front of my shirt. It doesn't help at all, really, because it's all blood. But I try.
Kiri's lay on hands does work to heal you and close this wound that is. If you had looked underneath your clothes, you would feel this as if your skin had been torn, and it's not a clean cut. It's just a rip.
Oh god.
And the pain
Such
of
a
it,
cool scar.
yeah, the pain of it is what caused you to black out immediately.
Ow.
Got plenty of
Alright,
water to clean it off with.
Yeah. And I'll start just getting undressed to change my clothes. Salix has 0 qualms about being naked in front of people. It's natural.
And you said she has a scar now, or no?
Yeah.
So Kendall's over there, like, making sure that, like, it's, like, sealed up properly, and, like, looking at her, like, shoulder, and he, like, you know, being very, like, doting over her. He's actually kind of using, like, any cloth he can to, like, obscure their view.
Salix doesn't care. Not at all phased over here. Well, that's new.
You sure you feel okay?
Well, thanks to Kiri, I think I'm okay, but whew.
I start
Yeah.
breathing a little bit easier, and I go, what a wagon ride of emotion.
Oh. Alright, so don't do that.
I guess other than that, the only thing that I'm gonna do for the rest of the day is try to wash my clothes in that really handy stream that we found.
If you look at the book, there is a scar from where you tried to tear it, but it has also been mended like you.
Really gross. Cool.
Yeah. Now nighttime comes. God. Kiri.
Yes.
You continue to think about what you read about the queen, about her weakness, supposedly. Dominion shackled. What would you like to do with your night?
Well, so Dev would probably know that every night while they sleep, Kira uses their extra trance, not sleeping time to go out and commune, I guess, with Mab, the Queen of Air and Darkness. And they haven't been doing that lately. In the past 5 or 6 days post near-death experience, they just kind of a little iffy about going out on their own at night, because that's when they were intercepted and captured. But I think by this point they don't quite mind that so much. And so while everyone is sleeping or trancing or keeping watch, Kira is just going to quietly get out, go somewhere where they can see the stars, or at least as much as they can be seen, and just start talking out into the open air in Sylvan.
What do you say, Kiri?
I'm still out here. I've been a bit quiet lately, but I guess you already knew that. I got into a bad fight and had some trouble separating myself from the night. I still should have spoken to you these past few days. I'm sorry. Can you even hear me anymore? Are you even out there? I have called to you every night for 15 years. There's just nothing. I want to hear your voice. I want to follow you, but how can I do that if you don't speak to me? I just don't know what to do. I'm lost in this world within myself. I'm just lost and I want to be found. I guess I'll have to have faith that you're still out there and that I get to come home one day. I don't even know if you can hear me, or if you're real anymore, or if you were ever real in this place to begin with. But I will follow. For myself, for our people, and for you, my queen.
As you sit there in the silence of the night, literally on your knees, you feel the temperature drop 1 degree at a time. You feel it bite at your lungs. That same cool energy you used to heal Salix, you feel at your fingertips. You remember the choice that you made. You remember the shackles that they took her away in. You take a deep breath. You let it go. It's not a voice that you hear. Not exactly. It's more of a nudge. Like remembering the taste of your favorite food, just on the tip of your tongue. Close your eyes, Kiri, it says. Do you listen?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Make your vow.
you told us that of the options we had, that you would prefer exile for your people. You would call us back one day, and that we could go home. So I'll wait here. I'll keep listening. I'll keep calling out to you. And if and when you return, I will be ready for you.
You feel a tightness around your chest as if somebody has begun wrapping you in a tight cloth, or tight leather straps, chains, wrapping around your chest, tightening and tightening and tightening until the air is sucked from your lungs. You wait those startling few moments as if you're drowning on land. The edges of your vision begin to dim and grow blurry. Your body begins to become even colder. Suddenly, the tightness around your chest becomes unbearable. Your hands clench into fists. And as you take that final breath in, that final inhale, everything is clearer. And for a moment, you don't see in front of you the material plane. You see its echo. You see home. The grass verdant green. The trees a baleful yellow. The sky, never-ending dusk. You blink and you open your eyes. And it's gone. You are now a level 3 paladin. Congratulations.
All right.
You make your way back to camp eventually. And that is where we are going to call the session for the night. Day. It's still daytime. We will pick up right here next week. No, we will not. We will not be on next week because of PAX Unplugged!
Yay!
We will take a group picture and we will print out a picture of Juan Carlos and he will be right there with us in spirit.
We will have a Juan Carlos cut out.
Yes, we will. I'm excited for it.
Laminate him and take him everywhere with
Oh
you.
my god, everywhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and sign off. When you sign off, say your favorite part of the session tonight. Who would like to start us off?
I will, I guess.
All right.
Oh man. Hi, I'm Erisavad. I make stuff. I make gaming supplies. And because you're watching this, you can get 10% off my store with the code O4ABAY. Because I love this channel. Man, there's so much in my brain. I absolutely loved the like back and forth on whether we go pursue this army or whether we don't, and everyone had excellent points, and I loved the way that all of our views kind of clashed, and then some it's I love this group. I can't even like fully explain it. I am so, oh my gosh.
Thank you, Eris. Who's next? Kendall.
Go.
Oh, Devereaux. Go, Ren.
I'll volunteer. I am Ren. I can be found on Twitter at Thorny Dryad, like a prickly bush. And my favorite part of this evening, or this afternoon session, was probably Kendall accidentally eavesdropping on a pair of wicked, nasty necromancers And also when he shoved himself in a trunk.
Kendall?
I'm Juan, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sombrero. And I run a podcast, the Paradise Podcast, which will be resuming in the new year. And my favorite part was how Camille keeps giving Kendall situations for himself to get in trouble. Yeah, he's very curious in nature, and he's got a lot of things to be curious about. So, but my favorite part was actually the back and forth of what should we do with this new information, and where should we go and why. So, yeah.
Definitely. Last but not least.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at axolotl_cure. I don't really have anything else going on right now. And my favorite part of the session was another back and forth that was significantly more lighthearted, which was trying to find the campsite. Or do we go this way or that way? That was great. That was great. So, yeah, that was my favorite part.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you to all my players. Y'all are fantastic. My name is Camille. I am the Dungeon Master and host of this channel. If you are interested in becoming a part of this channel, join our Discord. It's a really good time. We're always looking for new players, new Dungeon Masters. I would like to give a shout out to our sponsor campaign coins. You can look forward to a giveaway from them starting very soon. Things are kind of crazy with the Patreon right now due to between the accident that I had and the holidays coming up. I will be at PAX next weekend, along with almost everybody here. Please come find us and say hello. It would mean the world to me if you said hello to me. I will be hanging on to one of these 3 people at all times. I'm going to... Oh, you can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can find the channel on Twitter at Open4 Adventure. I'm going to give a shout out to our 3 what's it called? Warm and Fuzzies patrons. They are Bel Chavez. Woo! They are Callan. Thank you, Callan. And they are our most recent one, King Sweet. Thank you so much for becoming a Lore Master patron. I hope you like what you see there. That is it. We will not be here next week, but we'll be here the week after to continue this. Y'all have a great night. Bye.